The plan to bring undocumented children to North Texas is now off. It's an issue that energized supporters and opponents alike for the last month as the feds look to get a handle on our border crisis. Dallas County Judge Clay Jenkins supported bringing children to Dallas County. He's here in studio tonight to answer our questions. But first, let's go to Fox 4's Phil Alvarado. Phil, this issue got a passionate response from both sides. How are people feeling now that it's not happening?
That's right, Clarice. You know, it has brought out people for and against all over North Texas. And tonight we talked to some of those folks both in Dallas County and in Tarrant County. And many tell us that the fight is still the same. They want the border secured.
USA! USA!
There were protests against housing illegal immigrant children in Dallas County.
Illegal aliens in Texas create a great burden on the Texas taxpayer.
And we think it deserves a humanitarian response.
And there were those who supported Dallas County Judge Clay Jenkins' plan to house 2,000 illegal immigrants from Central America in at least 3 different places in the county.
Let's go ahead and take a higher ground here. Let's reach out, be compassionate about this.
Standing on the steps of Cathedral Guadalupe, Clay Jenkins announced everything had changed.
The children are not coming to temporary shelters in Dallas County.
The federal government announced no temporary shelters would be needed in Dallas County or anywhere else in the country. Jenkins says the reason that message is coming from Dallas County is because of the county's willingness to help.
We're glad that they don't need the shelters here, but it still doesn't fix the problem that we have an open border.
Fight for what's right for America.
Ron Murphy was at 3 demonstrations protesting Jenkins' plan.
Send them home! Secure the border!
What took me downtown was simply that we could not allow Judge Clay Jenkins to act without authority.
Murphy is with at the Texas Embassy, which he describes as a patriot group.
And it certainly is a small victory. Again, the ultimate goal for at the Texas Embassy is to get the border secure.
In Texas, our hearts are bigger!
No matter which side you stand on, the challenge would have been so great. There is relief on both sides.
Right, as long as they're getting the care someplace and that these children are being treated fairly and they're treated with dignity and respect, that's ultimately what our group really does want.
But the divide is still there. Some groups want immigration reform with a path to citizenship, and others.
And this is not about stopping children or young people or whoever it may be from coming to Dallas illegally. It's stopping illegal aliens from entering the country.
And Philip Dennis is among the many who are still calling on the governor for a special legislative session to work on the border crisis. Clarice?
Phil, thank you. And Dallas County Judge Clay Jenkins is with us now. Judge, thanks for joining us.
Great to be here.
You were the face to have these children come to Dallas County. How do you feel now that they won't be coming to the county?
You know, I'm just filled with gratitude for a community that responded at a time when the nation was gripped with fear and anger about what some saw as an illegal invasion. Our community, led by the faith community, stood up, changed the national conversation, and brought this about to focusing on children, because that's what this is about, helping children.
But are you disappointed they're not going to be coming to Dallas County?
Well, I'm relieved that they're going to facilities that have more attributes in place than we would have had in the temporary facilities here. Our plan here was always to put up temporary facilities to give the federal government the time to build more ideal facilities. Most of the children will now be able to go into what are termed permanent facilities, which are better places to be for the 30 days until they can be reunited with family or sent to a foster family pending disposition of their case.
Very strong positions for and against on this issue. We've got video of some protesters who took the protests to your doorstep in front of your house. And they made sure that you weren't going to be home. You were out of town at the time. But how did that make you feel to have that at your house?
Oh, yeah, it doesn't bother me. I mean, I guess as a parent, of course, it's not pleasant to have protesters come into your neighborhood. But my feeling is just overwhelmingly one of gratitude to a community where thousands of people reached out to help these children and continue to do so. And I won't let a couple of dozen protesters at my house take away that feeling of joy that I have. Because, you know, how many times has it happened when you've coached or taught a child and you felt like you got more out of it than they did? I think grace flows both ways, and the grace that this community has exhibited has flown back exponentially to the people in this community, and I'm happy about that.
Among the protesters, many people, there are a lot of people in the African American community, which is a very strong part of your base. A lot of African Americans who were upset, they were angry talking about undocumented children coming here when they said, we've already got children living in poverty and living in need in Dallas County. What do you say to them?
You know, I appreciate those concerns, but this is Dallas County, and in Dallas County we've responded to emergencies before, and it hasn't diminished our ability to help people here, and it wouldn't have if we had stood up these facilities this time. All children are precious. All children are made in the image of God, and it follows through with our American values and with our faith to not turn our back on children.
You plan to go to Fort Sill, which is one of the facilities that will now house the undocumented children. What do you expect to see? What do you hope to see?
Well, I want to see how the children are being treated. And of course, when we planned that trip, it was anticipated that the first new temporary facilities would be here in Dallas County. I was told by the White House and Health and Human Services that if we stood up additional facilities, they would be here. And the situation's very fluid and very complex, and it changed very quickly. But the children won't be here now. But that doesn't mean that the outpouring of love and grace towards these children that this community has stood up and given needs to stop. We still need volunteer lawyers to go to where the children are and help them. And groups like Catholic Charities and Buckner International and the Baptist Men still need donations of both money and supplies.
So the faith-based community and citizens who support this can still be involved?
Absolutely. Our community changed the national conversation and has shown more brightly than any other in the way that they dealt with this situation. And that's why we were allowed to make this national announcement from Dallas today. And so let's keep doing what we've been doing as a faith community and reach out to the children here in Dallas and not turn our back on children at our border as well.
Do you think you have any fence mending to do?
You know, I don't know. In politics, you make people angry, but there are issues, and children are one of those issues where you just have to do the right thing. And if people don't like that, then so be it. But when it comes to children in desperate need, you know, I feel compelled to act. That's what I was elected to do, and that's what I did in this circumstance.
We'll see how it turns out, Judge.
Thanks.
Thanks for your time tonight.
Thank you.